Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1419. Happy Sunday. Just a couple days away. In fact, I am 48 hours away from being on a plane to spring training. Have you heard the Cubs have not lost a spring training game? We are 2 weeks into games, and the Cubs have not lost a spring training game. I think they're either 8-0 or 9-0. And then they went on a streak of like 3 straight ties. So they have not won every single game they've played, but they haven't lost a single game. So they've, I think they're 8-0, 8-0-3 or 9-0-3. They swept a doubleheader yesterday. Yes, I understand. It's spring training. It means nothing, but it's still baseball, and you still play to win the game, whether you're putting out whoever or the Cubs are putting out their C and D squad just like the other teams are. So it's still fun. It's still fun. And hopefully that streak is still alive and I get to see another win on Tuesday when it's the Padres coming to Sloan Park. That'll be my first game out in Arizona Cactus League spring training. So I've got I ended up packing, oh my gosh. I ended up spending like $25 to ship Cubs cards for kids. I could have got that number down. I could have saved significantly if I used UPS, which in hindsight now I'm thinking that's more trustworthy. I'm going to talk about shipping. We're going to talk about eBay. We're going to talk about shipping this morning. So what I did was I ended up shipping, I think, 150 packs of Cubs cards for kids, which is 1,500 cards plus 150 stickers. I also shipped out like one of those sign stands, not a tripod, but it says like Cubs cards for kids, free Cubs cards for kids, 99centcards.com. So that'll stand up in a little basket that I have, and that'll be on a table at our Club 400 tailgate tent. And so I shipped all of that in a box. Now, I could have consolidated everything into a smaller box. I could have done a better, but I was in a hurry because I wanted to get it shipped out yesterday. So I didn't want to tear through my rooms to look for a appropriate sized box. And I didn't want to pay for a box. Go to Walmart and pay for a box. So use the box. And it's pretty heavy, and it's going, to the furthest zone. So it's already going to be the highest shipping rate. And go to Pirate Ship, and it was USPS priority was like $24.86. I'm like, oh my God. Now I could have put it in a large priority box, but I didn't have one. I would have had to gone to the post office to get one and then come back, or just take this shit with me and tape and do it from my car. Which I know a lot of people, I could have done that. Yes. However, I don't think the dimension, based on what I had packed in there, I don't think it would have fit in either of the large flat rate boxes. I would have had to consolidate all of the interior stuff. I probably, I could have shipped the basket and the sign. I could have just packed that in my case. But a large flat rate's like 22, so it's not like I'm saving a couple bucks. And at this time, it's just like, I didn't care about saving a couple bucks. I just want to make sure this is en route to Arizona. UPS was significantly less. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the UPS store. And in hindsight, I trust UPS, especially right now, I trust UPS a lot more than USPS. I probably should have done that. I would have saved, I think, like $8. Again, it wasn't about the cost savings. It was about getting the stuff out, getting the stuff in the mail, shipped out as fast as possible. So, but I was shocked at how much that was. I think Ground Advantage was $12. However, this is timely. It's not a box of stuff from eBay that I would absolutely send Ground Advantage. It'll take up to like 5 days. And it's like, well, I'm counting the days. Shit. No, I can't. I'm not going to do that. It's got to go priority. So that's why I ended up spending like $25. But that was like that hurts. Oh, well. I could have got that costs down, but I didn't. Hey, check out my eBay store. We're going to talk about eBay today. Go to 99centcards.com. I did add some new player lots, some small player lots into my eBay store, 99centcards.com. And if you buy 7 or more items at regular price, you will save 25% off at checkout. That's 99centcards.com. My sales, brutal. The title is clickbait because I know it'll get more views. But I know exactly why my eBay sales are the way they are. Now, I had great Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday, great eBay sales. Friday was down a little bit. Yesterday was worse. Actually, when I was surprised. And I accepted a cancellation of like a $60 item, which normally I probably would have been like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? But it's like, cancel, because it would have taken me time to pack. And it's like, yeah, screw it. You want to cancel, you'll cancel it. I'll just block you. I don't, unless it's like right now, unless it's egregious, I don't care. So yeah. Oh, I want to talk about feedback. We're going to talk about feedback. We're going to talk about the mail. We're going to talk about shitty sales. A lot going on eBay this weekend. I did scan 2-3 more batches for auctions that I'll get these uploaded for auctions to end upon my return. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 batches uploaded to Cardi the Pro that I need to edit and then upload to eBay. And I think 4 of them will be auctions. And then 2 of them will be buy it now. So I'll get the buy it now listed while I'm in Arizona, and then the auctions will go live probably. I get back on Wednesday, which is what, March 13th. So maybe I'll have them end. Yeah, maybe I'll have them end on Wednesday. I know that's probably because I'm going to have at least 100, actually probably close to 200. I'm just going to list them all on the same night. So maybe I shouldn't do, but these will be easy to pick and pack. Maybe I'll end them on, I'll end them on Thursday because I won't get home till Wednesday night. So I'll end them on Thursday night. All right, let's go to the chat, and then we're going to talk all things eBay and the mail and feedback and sales and all that good stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Oh, also, Madison Card Show this month, March 29th, end of the month, Saturday, March 29th. PSA on site. They will be accepting submissions for grading and authenticating. Saturday, March 29th at the Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolen Drive. Show hours 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Free admission. Dealer tables long sold out, 140 dealer tables. PSA will be upstairs in the second floor Capitol Square Ballroom along the south wall. Right when you walk in, you will see PSA, just a little dog leg to the right. So PSA in the house, Saturday, March 29th, Madison Card Show. Not on-site grading. It is on-site. They will be on-site at the card show accepting submissions for grading and authenticating, which is a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, the only shows in the month of March that PSA is on site this weekend at Los Angeles Collecticon, the Philadelphia Card Show, the Chicago Sports Spectacular, and the Madison Card Show. So those are the only places that PSA is on site this month, at least according to their events calendar on the website. So Saturday, March 29th, Madison Card Show, PSA on site this month. Mikey's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. How are your sales? Terrible. I haven't made many. That's why they're terrible. I just haven't made many sales. Well, I've made a decent amount of sales. It's lower than what I want them to be. Mikey's on his way to Terre Haute, home of the Sycamores, Larry Bird country. Turkey Cards in the house. Good morning. Jody's here. What's happening? Florida baseball card dude. Good morning. Donald is here. What's happening? Christian in the house. Good morning. He says, go Spartans today. Who do they play the Badgers? I don't even know. I just randomly grabbed this. I'm like, that's Sunday. The Badgers might be playing. If they are, I will tune in. Let me go to the app. Let's see what college I have been watching more college basketball the last couple days. It is March now. It is March. Wisconsin, number 11 in the country, at number 8 Michigan State. Big time game at 12:30. So I'm glad Christian mentioned this. So because otherwise I would have been like, oh, I didn't realize the Badgers were playing today because I don't know the schedule. So I will tune in. It's just me and Ernie today. Mom is headed to the suburbs, meet up with her best friend from college is in Chicago this weekend. So they're getting together today. Her and her college friends getting together today. So it's a guy's day, fun day Sunday. Me and Big Ern will be watching the Badgers later today. SoCal guy, good Sunday to you. Happy Sunday. Zach's in the house. He says, have you thought about selling on a different platform? I've been selling Pokemon and hockey cards on Mercari for a few years now. I've not had one bad sales month since inception. Interesting. Has anybody thought about selling hockey and Pokemon on Mercari? Mikey's in the house. He says they will probably lose their first game Tuesday. Shut up, Mikey. Go Cubs. Knackley Collectibles, good morning. Dan's in the house. What's happening? Philly Joe, good morning. Bargain Boxer, let's go. He says, went to the Shipshawana show yesterday. Saw Card Collector 2 and Neo, but no Jeff Wilson. Wah, wah. No steals or deals in Shipshawana. Jody says, mine sucked the last few days. Bargain Boxer says, just a bunch of overpriced, undersold cards. Basket Noodle is here. He says, I ran a sale starting Friday, 25% off. Sales up 221%. Hey, how about that? Found Treasures is here. Good morning. Dan wants to know, when do I leave for spring training again? Tuesday, March 4th. I feel like my announcing when I'm going to spring is like a play-by-play announcer saying the score. You think you're saying it too much, but somebody's always going to like tune in at just the right time to not know what the score is. So like I'm going to be leaving Tuesday, March 4th for spring training. I'll have to announce that throughout, like kind of like announcing the score updates during a basketball game, a radio broadcast. Mikey says, I'm currently running a 40% off 7 or more cards. That dude from Duryea, what's happening? ESE is such a frustrating thing. Oh, we're going to talk about that today. I am curious if it's certain pockets of the country that keep sending them back for extra postage. So that's something that I don't encounter often, but it does happen. I do get, every once in a while, I'll get returns. But I mean, it's, oh my God, it's like 1 per 1,000 probably. Very, very rarely do I get returns. In every once in a while, and even more rare, I'll have somebody say, hey, this came postage due, and I owe them like 27 cents or whatever it is. But that's even more rare. Max says, I would nix the PSA is on site and just say PSA will be accepting subs. And so this is where we get into semantics, because PSA will be, because you can say, well, PSA is accepting submissions. Well, is it PSA or is it 5-star or is it some group subber? This happened to be in Dallas when I was at the Dallas Card Show. I'm like, where's PSA? Because I need to sub some cards. And somebody points me to a group subber. And so we have like a 5-minute conversation. And I'm like, wait, are you with PSA? He's like, oh, no, I'm with whatever card shop. I'm like, no. Where's PSA? So I would rather say PSA is on site accepting submissions for grading and authenticating, because that spells it all out. PSA, the company, is on site at the Madison Card Show accepting submissions for grading and authenticating. It doesn't mean they're on-site grading. It means they're on-site, and they will take in your submissions. So that's why I spell it out the way I do. And I understand people don't reading comprehension. What is it? Reading comprehension? So because if you say PSA will be accepting submissions, for grading on. Well, they're there every month. There's a guy that takes my cards every month. I'm just sending the cards in. So that's where the confusion lies. There's going to be confusion either way. Well, I can submit my cards any month. 5-star is there every month, and I just give them to Matt, and he sends my cards to PSA. PSA is actually there accepting your submissions for grading and authenticating. Bargain Boxer says, Rosemont, let's go. I'll be there. Chicago Sports Spectacular. I'll be there. I'll be set up Sunday, March, whatever it is. I will be there. I'll be there Saturday afternoon, just walking around. Dan says, so you're saying they are only on site every weekend at a show. Got it. Yes, they are on site at a show every weekend, but they're only on site at 4 shows in the entire month of, they're only at 4 shows total. 4 shows on site. Yes, they are on site every weekend at a show, but only 1 show per weekend, at least in the month of March. Mikey says, I'm excited for March Madness. Me too. My favorite sports month of the year, March. Spring training. It's starting to warm up, although it's like 17 degrees outside right now, but the sun's out. It's going to warm up. We've got conference tournaments probably starting this coming week. I would assume conference tournaments start this week, like some of the low majors and mid majors, I think. Usually, what are the first? There's 3, like the first 3 conference tournaments to send automatic bids. It's always the Missouri Valley. Like they're the first like mid-major. And then there's like Patriot League, Summit League. Although Summit League is a couple days later. I think it's Patriot League, Missouri Valley, because it's Arch Madness is always like the first or one of the first. When is Arch Madness? Because it's always like, it always surprises me like, oh shit, it's the Missouri Valley Conference tournament's already going on. Yeah, so this week, Missouri Valley Conference is March 6th through the 9th. So that is what, Thursday? Tuesday's the 4th, so Thursday. So we've got conference tournaments starting this week. March Madness, baby. Merle says, I feel like you finally picked a topic that I am an expert at. Terrible eBay sales. Who is Neo? Neo Cards and Comics? Is that? He's a big YouTuber. He's got a big following. I bet he's got 50,000 subs. Neo Cards. Neo Cards and Comics on YouTube. Nope, 18,000 subs. That's still a lot more than me. Andy Mack, good morning. Gundy's in the house. Good morning. Dan says, announce your spring training departure on the ones. It's 8/21. I'll be leaving for spring training on Tuesday, March 4th. Weather on the 8s and my spring training departure on the ones. Neo is an Oompa Loompa from Northeast Ohio. And that's what Neo stands for, Northeast Ohio. Cards and Comics. Mikey says, I bought a big Caitlin Clark card of 79, and eBay authentication is so frustrating. It takes so long to get cards progressed and sent to the end customer. I still love it. I still love eBay authentication. I understand it does take a little longer, but I'm still 100% on board with eBay's authentication guarantee. Porter's in the house. Good morning. But the only thing, I'll get back to Cooter here in a second. The only thing about eBay authentication that I wish would change if both parties agreed to opt out. If both if both parties like send a message like, hey, if the buyer's like, I want this right away, can we avoid authentication? And the seller's like, yeah, absolutely. But it also protects the seller. If the buyer opens up a claim and says it's got a corner ding, guess what? It goes back to authentication, and authentication's like, no, this is exactly how we received it. And they'll deny the claim. So that's why I like it on the seller aspect. And of course, on the buyer side, it's getting authenticated. But I do wish that, and I think eventually maybe they'll waive it. And if both parties agree, both buyer and seller say, yes, I want to opt out, and away you go. Cooter says, good morning. Have you mentioned Hotel and Street holds the Madison Card Show? Not enough. On the threes, we'll announce the Madison Card Show is Saturday, March 29th at the Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive. Saturday, March 29th, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolen Drive. Madison Card Show updates on the threes. Sheraton on John Nolen Drive. There you go. Word up. What are your top 2 sports card releases in the past year? Bang for your buck. Top Series 1 and 2. 2025 Series 1, 2024 Series 1. In the past year, those 2. I'm trying to think any other products that let's just go back to 2024 Series 1, great product for bang for your buck. Big League, Heritage, Allen and Ginter. Those were the cases I bought. I bought some boxes of like Bowman. You got to hit big on Bowman. And I think I did. I'm pretty sure I made my money back on Bowman, but I had to hit some big cards or a big card. I can't remember what I hit out of Bowman last year. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Flagship never fails me. Flagship has not failed me. I went through and counted yesterday, and I think I've sold a few since. I've now sold over 1,000 cards from my Series 1 case, which included 2,400 cards, and subtract about 25 for my Cubs collection. So over 1,000 out of 2,375 cards in the case. All of the hits have sold. I've got, I think, a few inserts and parallels that did not sell at auction. I just relisted in my store as a buy it now. So now it's basically just base from Series 1. So each year, bang for your buck, in my opinion, tops Flagship Series 1. But I don't recommend going out and buying a case right now because you're not going to get the best bang for your buck. You've got to get that bang for your buck at release. If you wait a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're not going to see that return. So that's with a Series 1 with an asterisk. And really, most products have some sort of asterisk. And usually that asterisk is make sure you get your cards on release day. Merle says, PSA will be on site and taking away tables from dealers. Say that. Sometimes that happens. Thanks, Bargain Boxer. I just tuned in and was wondering. Where we at? Zach says, this sounds like one of the scenarios where you can explain it to someone, but you can't understand it for them. Good point. They will need to work that out on their own. Absolutely. All the words, all the appropriate words are in the right places, and understanding and comprehending, reading comprehension. I cannot comprehend for everybody. It's kind of like, this is a perfect example. That example of you should just say PSA is accepting submissions for grading authenticating. And then you'll get a segment of people. Well, I thought PSA was going to be on site. I thought PSA was going to be there. Now you're just saying they're accepting submissions for grading. Kind of like the parking situation in January. If there's no parking available and you have to go park across the street and pay $8, the Sheraton, free of charge, will shuttle you back and forth just in case. And now people think that the Madison Card Show is charging for parking because people cannot comprehend. You can't fix stupid sometimes. I'm sorry. So now it's like, you know what? Fuck it. If you can't find a parking spot, you're on your own. Go find a parking spot or don't come. I'm no longer am I going to say the Sheraton, free of charge, is offering a shuttle service if you have to find a parking spot across the street where it happens to be a charge. Nope. You either don't find a parking spot or you do. Tough shit. Sometimes we've got to, if you're looking for a parking spot, you're an adult or nearly an adult, I guess, a 16-year-old could be. You've got to figure shit out on your own. Like there comes a time where promoters and adults, other adults, don't need to hold hands anymore. We don't need to comprehend for you. We don't need to tell you exactly what to do or not to do. Sometimes you just got to figure shit out on your own. Merle says, but is it on Sheraton Drive, east, west, north, southwest? Well, there is no Sheraton Drive. It's John Nolen Drive. It's John Nolen, 706 John Nolen Drive. Cooter says, how about PSA will be taking cash for providing shitty service and ugly slabs? Hey. John Nolen Drive. There is no east John Nolen Drive. There is no north or south John Nolen Drive either. It's just John Nolen Drive. Dan says, there are usually only 4 weekends in a month. Are you saying they usually go to multiple shows every weekend? No. No, I'm not saying that. Jesus Christ. Moving on. Zach says, I doubt they take cash. Boomer talk. No West. Have we ever figured out who John Nolen is? Yes. He was an architect, I believe. There's actually a plaque next to one of the on the side entrance basically where the State Street Ballroom is. And it says exactly who John Nolen was, why the street's named after him. Uncle Rich is here. Good morning to you. John Nolen is a TV actor on The Rookie. Mikey says, because I still have to grade the Clark card and add it to my collection. Hits on Ginter, thumbs up Series 1, womp womp. Max says, worst take of the decade, worse than ASAP and Ricky Henderson. I'm talking about bang for your buck. I lost money on Allen and Ginter. I made money on Top Series 1. How is that a bad take? I'm running a business. I make money on one product, I lose money on another, and you're telling me that my terrible take is on a product I lost money on running a business? Talk about shit takes. Come on, Max. Johnny M, good morning. Bargain Boxer says, thank you for saying asterisk correctly. Zach says, it's one of few words I can pronounce correctly, unlike ibuprofen and coupon. That's for you, Dan. Zach says, Bo, may I hold you legally and financially accountable for the sales advice you provide on this channel? I have not seen a disclaimer anywhere. I'm using this to scale up my store. Stuke's in the house. Good morning. Porter says, buyer messaged me last night wanting to buy all of my Frank Thomas, Ryan Sandberg, Ernie Banks listings. 76 cards. How do I get them to offer first? Just say, offers are open. I get this a lot. Well, not a lot, but I get this. It's not uncommon where somebody says, I want to buy all of your Pudge Rodriguez cards. It's like, okay, my offers are open. Send me offers and I'll accept them. And usually about 50% of the time, the person that sent me that message will actually follow through with offers. I had somebody, a whole bunch of like Minnesota Vikings, and he like 125. And I'm like, dollar offers, take them and accept them. It is a pain in the ass. There's really no easy way to like bundle up. I want to buy all 76 of these cards. Either the buyer's going to have to buy them all and get some sort of coupon, or there I said it again, coupon, or send offers, or you are going to have to manually delist them all and create a new listing. I know that's probably the two most common ways to do this are either A, on the seller deletes all the listings and puts up one listing that says Frank Thomas, Ryan Sandberg, Ernie Banks, 76 card lot for eBay user X. And at the price you agreed upon in your messages. And then when it's up, say, hey, the listing is up, go buy it. Or what I usually do, because usually I don't want to do that. I'll just say my offers are open, send me an offer. And that's the way. And I understand, like it's a pain in the ass. Either way, it's a pain in the ass. It's either a pain in the ass for the seller, and I understand we should cater to the buyer. And sometimes I will. If I don't have 300 orders to ship, maybe I will do that. But usually it's like, sorry. But usually you can work through it. So those are the two best ways to do it. Either delete them all, create a listing, 76 card lot for user X, or have the buyer list them. And in all honesty, I would charge a premium if I was creating the listing. Say, okay, you can send me an offer of $1 each, so $76. But if I have to do the work, that's time that I'm spending. Could be 20 minutes. I don't know. 15 minutes. I'm going to add that in, and maybe it's $1.10 per card. And instead of $76, it's $86, whatever the price difference is. But if I were to delist everything and create a listing, I would charge a premium over $1 a card or whatever it might be. Merle says, will the shuttle pick me up at my house? Bargain Boxer says there had to be 5,000 cars at the Shipshawana show yesterday. Holy moly. Buyer left me a neutral. So let's get into that for a moment. I went through, I received 2 negative feedbacks in 2 neutrals, or 1 neutral, maybe 1 neutral and 2 negatives. I was able to get one of my negatives removed, and I think both of my neutrals removed, because it was never got this item. And so eBay's really good with that. If it shows, even if it doesn't show delivered, and that may have been the one hang up. The one that didn't get removed. No, I think all of them did. If any of them had to do with delivery, even if it wasn't marked delivered, I think eBay removed them all. And it's really easy to remove feedback. Just go to on eBay, go to help and contact, and then on the search bar screen, type in feedback removal, and it's a button pops up. It says request to remove feedback. Click that, and it'll show your negatives and neutrals, and you can. So one of them did not get removed. So there you go. Big Harv says, can I get a free shuttle from California to go to the next Madison Card Show on John Nolen Drive? Maybe there's a shuttle service out there that'll do that. But it won't be the Sheraton. JG says some prefer personal escorts into the shows per YouTube card people. Max says, didn't know it was bang for your buck. Yes, bang for your buck. Neutral feedback, because the post office lost his $1.75 card and fully refunded. You will get that removed. You type in feedback removal, you explain your case, and I guarantee you that feedback will get removed within the hour. Justin, what's going on? Speaking of bang of buck, 2022 Bowman Heritage may be a sneaky contender for banging bucks. Interesting. Red Light 34, good morning. Johnny M says, guessing people are getting tax refunds back. Way more sales than usual and lots of high-end last few days. Yeah, that's definitely the case at card shows that I've been. Card shows have been booming, and people are spending money. And since people are spending money, sorry, Bargain Boxer, you're not going to get your steals and deals. You're going to have to wait till like May after those tax refunds dry up. Merle says, Skull. Cooter says, is your card show named in honor of a person? If so, did you know Madison? No. Nope. Dan says, I want to get a shock therapy device for you for every mispronunciation. Jody says, if you accept the 76 orders, you don't pay 35 to 76 to eBay. It depends. Sometimes you do. So that's also something you have to watch out for. What I try to do to avoid that is, as soon as I go in and accept them, send an invoice. And I think that's actually a buyer setting, that they have to have that set up, which is bullshit, where that should be a seller setting where it's like, you've got to combine these orders. But hey, why would they fix that? getting 30 cents a pop on order transactions. So why would eBay bend over backwards to not make that extra money? Mikey says, I like banging bucks being spent in my store. There you go. Red Light says, I'm going to send you about 50 to 75 offers. Do you want me to do it now or when you get back? You can do it now. I'm pretty well caught up on I'll be shipping today and tomorrow. So if you put them in today, they will get shipped out before I leave. I'm up to 35. I got to first time in 2025 that I was down to 0 orders to ship. Usually it happens about 3 times a year that I get down to 0. So I was down to 0 yesterday around about noon. And by the time I went upstairs, ate breakfast, I had, I think, 5 or 6 orders. So my eBay sales weren't terrible. That's just, I even put clickbait in the title. So you can't say, well, that's a clickbait title. Of course it is. Of course it is. It is a clickbait title. But my sales the last 2 days have been lower than I want them to be. But I wouldn't say terrible. So hopefully I'll be back to 0 at some point today. And then I've got to be at 0 at some point tomorrow. Zach says, Bowman U, best investment I've made in years. You know, of all the wax that I've bought, Bowman U is probably the best return I've ever had. Bowman U football, that mountain of blasters I had. And I sat on them and then eventually ripped everything. In fact, one of my most recent sales, it's the gift that keeps on giving. I made my money back within short time. I just took an $18 order. Somebody came in and bought 12 copies of the Tyler Schaff from Texas Tech Bowman U card. An $18 order on Bowman U just this morning. And I made my money back right away. I pulled 3 Kenny Pickett autos back when Kenny Pickett was, see, that's what you sell when it's hot. Don't sit on Kenny Pickett. Sell them when they're $100 or more a pop. So that was Bowman U football. I don't have the numbers to back it up by far, but Bowman U was definitely my best investment from a sealed wax ripping and flipping standpoint. I'm trying to think if anything ever came close to the Bowman U. I don't think so. Outside of like, I pulled this $1,700 Ellie De La Cruz out of a $20 blaster box. But from a mountain of like buying volume of a sealed product, Bowman U is definitely number 1, and I don't think it's close. Bargain Boxer says, well, damn it, I have to pay taxes every year. Shane says, back to the grind today after watching wrestling last night. I thought that was last night, and I'm like, it's not last night. We ended up watching, what the hell did we watch last night? I don't know, but we were watching something last night, and Running Point. Have you seen Running Point on Netflix? Great show. I really like Kate Hudson. It's basically loosely based on Jeannie Buss and the Los Angeles Lakers. And it's a great show. We binged like 3 or 4 episodes last night. And then I saw like John Cena turning heel, which I thought he would have turned heel like 5 years ago. I knew John Cena would turn heel at some point. And then I started to like, he's like 50 now. I don't think John Cena is going to turn heel. And so he turned heel, which is awesome because he's going to be such a great heel because he's been a baby face for 20 years. And the best heels are from the turns of like, look at Hulk Hogan, that heel turn, just iconic. I don't think the Cena heel turn is going to be like that iconic though. It's not going to be Hogan iconic or anywhere close to that. But maybe I'll throw that on in the background before the Badger game today. Max says, do people just itch to file their taxes? Jesus, I haven't even thought about doing mine yet. Got to get that money that you let Washington hold on to irresponsibly for a year, I guess. It is. It's like tax returns. Like, I mean, you shouldn't get a tax return. You should not get money back. Like, the goal is to, like, I mean, you don't want to pay in, but it's paying in is better than getting a return because you're letting the government sit on your money for a year for free. You don't even get interest on it. So the goal should be zero. They pay you nothing, you give them nothing. That's the goal. But some people like use it as a interest-free savings account, a zero interest savings account. And then piss it away on baseball cards when they get it back in February and March. But yes, I think people do itch to file their taxes because they want to get that money back they gave the government for free and spend it on baseball cards. And probably scratch off lottery tickets too. Shane says, no idea I was going to see an all-time moment live. Were you there? Where was the event? Max says haven't. Dad Dude from Duryea says with offers you cannot combine shipping. If I am wrong, please advise. I've combined shipping. I think it's on the buyer. I think it's a setting within the buyer that if they choose whatever setting is, because I've had offers where I've accepted offers where I couldn't go in and do a combined shipping invoice, and then I've had some where I could. So I really do think it's a buyer setting, which is stupid if that is the case, because I've had both happen. Shane says my sales have been great, always tweaking my strategy. Gotta do it. There you go. My terrible sales is completely clickbait. My sales haven't been terrible. In fact, Tuesday, Wednesday were great sales day. Thursday was okay. Friday was down a little bit. And Saturday was down, but I haven't listed anything. I listed about 10 lots yesterday, small player lots, and that's probably all I've listed since last weekend. So I haven't really done anything. So and my sales are going to be absolutely atrocious over the next 10 days because I'll have my out of office, which suppresses sales. So yeah, that's why my sales have been less than what I'd like them to be. But really, my terrible eBay sales is just a clickbait title. I even wrote clickbait in the title. Zach says, Bowman, you a better return than not having to pay a mortgage. There you go. Tyler Schaff, sleeper QB in the draft this year. That's probably why somebody came in and bought every single card in my store. Zach says, robbing a dead man's grave and an uneducated estate seller was your best ROI on time and money spent. A dead man's grave and an uneducated estate. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Paul Carl in the house. What's happening? Merle says, should Topps make a Topps Now card of Cena turning heel? Oh, they will. Absolutely, 100%. There will be a Topps Now card of John Cena. Max says, I wish I was a W-2. Would make shit so much easier. Wait, never mind. Glad I can pay my mortgages with that money. There you go. Donald says, wife and I did taxes yesterday and had to pay a small amount to federal and got a small amount back from the state. All in all, I think I did okay. There you go. There you go. We have not done our tax. We wait till the last possible moment. So I haven't even printed off my my stuff yet. We're just holding it until probably the next couple of weeks. We'll get it to our accountant, and then he will hold on to it and file it on April 15th or whatever the filing date is. So yeah, my eBay sales, they haven't been terrible. They've been lower than what I want them to be, but I'm leaving for Arizona in 2 days. So I'm, kind of purposefully, I'm actually sandbagging. I have six batches, probably how many cards? At least 300, maybe 350 cards that'll go live at some point while I'm gone, whether it be an auction I'll schedule the auctions. So I'll schedule them to start on Thursday. And then the other 2 batches will be buy it nows that I'll list at some point. Johnny M says, surprised they let Cena turn heel on his retirement tour. I bet this was something Cena wanted. I think probably Triple H wanted it as well. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier, but I understand from the whole Make-A-Wish stuff. And I just thought, like, I had, it's like, okay, this is the retirement tour. It's just going to be same old John Cena. Like, it makes a lot of sense, because otherwise, if it was just a retirement tour, it's just like every other effing retirement tour that the WWE throws out. So at least it's different. And it's something you didn't see coming. It's like, it's been 20 years. He's been a babyface for 20 years. Now it's his retirement tour. Of course he's not going to turn heel. And then the swerve, John Cena, bad guy. I love it. Paul Carl says, my old accountant was terrible. Just got a new one for this year's returns. Pray for me. My accountant is amazing. I love my accountant. Make sure the accountant uses cash basis for you. Absolutely, 100%. Cooter says, my accountant sucks. Can't get him to stop commenting on live streams and do my damn taxes. Porter says, my sales were in the tank for a couple days. Then I realized that I had let my 40% off coupon expire. Oh, I did turn down my promoted just a couple percentage points. I went from 10% to 8%. And I may actually, I'd kind of like to have sales up today. Maybe tomorrow I'll turn it off to, maybe I'll just turn it off. We'll see. Actually, I might keep it running. I'll keep, because I think the out of office suppresses my sales enough. I'm still getting I think I got 2 or 3 messages and 2 or 3 claims yesterday. So I am going to spend like a frickin' entire day at some point. I don't know when. Filling out these damn forms. Obviously, I don't want to do it while I'm in Arizona, but I'm running out of time. So there we go. All right, that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I got to turn my sunshiny window curtains down. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. 99centcards.com. Get your orders in. Get them in today. If you want them shipped by tomorrow, otherwise wait a week. 99centcards.com. Order 7 or more cards at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. 99centcards.com. Last comment, Johnny says, my first accountant did time for tax evasion. I was very nervous for a bit. Got rid of him fast. Red light is sending offers now. Thank you, sir. All right, like, subscribe. Have a great Sunday. Back tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last live from here for a week, 8 days, 9 days. And then we'll go live tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central, and then nothing on Tuesday. And then maybe Wednesday morning, we'll do a live stream. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe Wednesday, might be Thursday. All right. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.